Hello, learners. We are back again today talking about the Industrial Revolution. Before we continue with our learning, I wanted to just take a minute and review what we talked about last week. The Industrial Revolution was an increase in production through the use of new machinery, new technology, and they were also using new energy sources. Big thing to understand during the Industrial Revolution was the use of child labor, and that is in the past and also currently in the present. And then I wanted you to understand that there are some different industrial revolutions going on within the larger increase in technology. Today, for the Industrial Revolution, we want to focus on inventions and immigration. The Industrial Revolution was a huge explosion in inventions and also in innovations. Okay, so inventions are the idea that you're creating something brand new. And then innovations are when you're taking that product and you're making it better and better and better. All right. You might be using a current machine and making it work faster or more efficiently. You might be using new materials or a new method of production. The other idea I want to touch on this week is immigration. Immigration is permanently moving to a new country. And we've talked about this a lot during the year, but why? Why immigrate? All right. We have to remember our country is a land of immigrants. Okay, 95% of us are of some kind of immigration descent. So why? First of all, during the Industrial Revolution, there's going to be hardships at home, and there are also a lot of opportunities in American factories. This explosion of industry requires jobs, and also America is expanding westward, and there's lots of land available for farming. Some inventions during the Industrial Revolution, there are hundreds of them. We're not going to talk about each one, but I wanted you to understand how it snowballs. So as we look at the steam engine, all right, the steam engine, first of all, went into hundreds and hundreds of different kinds of inventions and innovations. For example, the steam engine may have gone into a railroad car, a locomotive, but that also snowballs into the railroad system. The steam engine went into ships and factories and on farms. So this one invention called the steam engine revolutionized a whole segment of our industry, of the way we lived. And there are tons and tons of these examples. I just put a few of them in front of you, but you can see the spinning jenny or the telegraph. Colossus was the first computer used to break down codes during war. And then Portland cement, and I put that one on there because it's something you might not think about. You think about things that people produce, but not new ways of creating things. And as you can see, this is an explosion, right? Let's just look at the telegraph. The telegraph, of course, leads to the telephone. The telephone leads to the cell phone. And then when you start integrating things like computers and telephones, you get what we now have is the smartphone. Immigration. Okay, first thing, to understand immigration during the Industrial Revolution, you need to understand immigration as a whole within the United States. So on one side here, we have the first immigrants, which would have been the Pilgrims, and then Jamestown, which we covered a long time ago. And those were people that came here by their own free will. But we also have to keep in the back of our mind the slave trade and the fact that a segment of our population came here not by their choice. All the way to present day, if we look at what's going on with immigration, there are people that are for immigration and people that are against immigration. And this has been going on literally since the country began. In the middle of that, we have the immigration during the Industrial Revolution. All right. Now, as you look back, a lot of people think of this as a great time. People are coming to Ellis Island. People are coming here to have jobs and for freedom and getting away from things like the potato famine or the German Revolution. But just like a lot of part of our history, we tend to forget about the negative parts. For example, child labor. Many immigrants, their children went to work in factories, and that not all immigrants were welcomed. Okay, just like today, just like the past, there was a segment of the population that was not in favor of immigration, as you can see from this political cartoon. Those people that are against immigration are called nativists and nativism. So Nativism is the idea that people are fearful or distrustful of foreigners. And what that leads to is them wanting to limit the amount of immigration, slow it down, and also to limit the amount of political power those immigrants will have. So, final slide here. Big ideas from this week. First of all, understanding that inventions are a snowball effect. Once you create one thing, it creates another and another. And then if you look at this immigration chart, you can see the immigrants from Ireland and Germany are coming in the mid 1800s. And then you have a flood of immigrants from Italy and Russia. And then you can see the orange immigrants from Mexico. So immigration's been going on for a long, long, long time. It's the basis of our country. Unless you are a American Indian, unless you are from from that culture, you are of immigrant descent. It's important to understand that as we look at immigration, not only during the Industrial Revolution, but also throughout the history of the United States. As always, if you have any questions, you're more than welcome to contact me. I hope this was helpful as you move forward with your learning.